Welcome to today's Marketplace. I'm Jane King, and today we're joined by Neal Harmon, the CEO and co-founder of ANGX Studios, and Nathan Preheim, the director of the Center for Enterprise Value at Creighton University. So great to have you both.
Good morning.
Our discussion topic today, entrepreneurship and innovation. And Nathan, I understand that you have 25 plus years of startup industry experience. You founded multiple software startups, and we're in a tech boom, and I feel like everything has changed in the last 25 years. How we use phones and Zoom and AI, of course. How do companies know when it's time to disrupt the market with a new innovation?
I think my 6 favorite words might be, there is always a better way. So if you view the world through that lens, there's opportunity everywhere. Most of us are familiar with entrepreneurs. These are the men and women that see opportunity and take action. I'm actually all in on intrapreneurship. So this is disruption from within. So in terms of when is the appropriate time for innovation, anytime, anywhere. What we're trying to do at Creighton University is prime our students to be change agents inside corporations. Disrupt or be disrupted. Why not bring the change agent inside and go from 0 to 1 inside that organization? So I've seen the future, entrepreneurship, these will be coveted jobs, lots of opportunity to disrupt yourself instead of an entrepreneur disrupting you.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of big companies kind of have those divisions where they do that. Of course, studios, streaming providers, that area has had a lot of disruption lately. People watching what they want, when they want. So Neal, ANGX Studios doing just that. You're flipping also the traditional movie studio model on its head. So tell me about that. Tell me your business model and why you decided to be the founder of ANGX Studios.
So I grew up working on farms in Idaho, and we, as founders, just looked at a problem that we needed for our children. We wanted more stories like modern versions of 12 Angry Men,
Great movie.
of Sound of Music, Swiss Family Robinson, and we weren't seeing the problem being solved by the traditional Hollywood, like the legacy studios. And so we set out to solve the problem, and now 1.5 million families have joined us. We're called the Angel Guild, and the way that we flipped the script was, instead of a few gatekeepers in New York and California deciding what gets greenlit, it's the audience.
Yeah.
So we listen to the audience and then give them what they ask for.
Yeah.
Not rocket science, but it is flipping the script.
Yeah, for sure. And I've seen a couple of ANGX Studios films. They've been excellent. So now, how does your green lighting of a project differ than what traditional Hollywood would do?
So a guild member has the chance to vote on every film or TV show that they want to, and they get tickets to Angel releases in theaters, and then their membership fees actually support future film and TV shows. So the core of Angel is the guild and this community. And so every time that we get a new project, we show it to the guild, and then they vote on it. And if it gets a high enough score, then we release it on Angel.
And do the movies play in big theaters?
Oh, absolutely. Our very first theatrical release was His Only Son. It reached number 3 in the box office. Our second was Sound of Freedom. It reached number 1 on opening day, and it beat out Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible. And then recently, we just released King of Kings at Easter time, which was the number 1 biblical animated release of all time.
Yeah. So, and from what I read, ANGX Studios has earned the highest per-release domestic box office average of any independent studio. So this is for 2023 to 25. So that's incredible.
Yes.
And you attribute that to the content and having something different to offer people.
Well, we attribute it to the guild making the choices. They're smarter. The wisdom. There's a science behind the wisdom of crowds, and if you have lots of people, diverse people, making decisions independently from each other, then the joint decision is smarter than any expert, or than me as an executive or any Hollywood executive. That's a smarter decision. And then they help release the films and they get them excited. So we just said, you know what, this is what we want. If we build it, they'll come, and they did. And
you have an IPO, so we're here at the New York Stock Exchange where you'll be traded. So, and it was kind of a unique kind of path to the IPO. Explain that.
Well, when we're disrupting the traditional Hollywood model, we had to kind of do a do-it-yourself model for the funding. And there are around 70,000 people, families from all over, who have invested in Angel Studios, which required us to be a public company. And today's the day when now they get to trade ANGX, and it represents their movement. And we're glad to be here on the New York Stock Exchange to celebrate this with them. But in reality, whether this goes up or down doesn't matter. We're about timeless values, audience-driven, and in 6 years or 5 years, this is a long-term play, and we're very excited about the future.
Well, congratulations on the IPO. That's no easy task to take a company public. So, Nathan, this community approach sounds a lot like the Center for Enterprise Value at Creighton. What you're doing, it develops entrepreneurs, and you also get behind innovations and take them to market. Very kind of similar fashion, right?
My job is to really activate entrepreneurial thinking across campus. And there's a couple of different ways we do that. On the academic side, I'm all in on the entrepreneurship minor. So I like the T, get a core skill, amplify your major with an entrepreneurship minor, because I do believe it provides value to whatever discipline it is. On the research side, we're actually studying the ingredients of what an effective startup team is. I think that research will be game-changing, not for just academics, but for consultants like McKinsey and Bain, and even venture capitalists. On the applied side, I'm a practitioner. Prof P, not Dr. Preheim, thank you very much. We obviously have services like incubators and accelerators, which is called Flight School. Given that our mascot is a bird, we're all in on the aviation theme. Go through Flight School. We might have some capital for you in the First Flight Fund. This is more than just a program. It's really an ecosystem and a platform. We want to capture those ideas in the classroom and have lots of ways for them to sort of take flight. Very exciting time to be on campus right now.
Yeah. AI, what's been the plus and minus?
So I remember when I first started my first company, it took months, if not years, to go from concept to company to customers to revenue. Using the tools of tomorrow in AI, you're actually seeing that time compressed radically, where on a weekend, I might be able to create a concept, push it out in the world, capture a customer or two, and generate some revenue. So where I think AI has the biggest benefit, it's going to be speed, of course, but also my favorite metric as an employer or a founder, revenue per FTE. So the amount of revenue the company makes divided by the total number of employees. AI has the chance to radically, almost exponentially increase that revenue per FTE, where smaller teams can create bigger impact. So I am both tantalized and terrified. I do know, though, that the jobs of tomorrow, we need to make sure that our students understand how to use these technologies, and they're the ones, if they can solve business problems with AI, they'll have massive competitive benefit.
Okay, and what are your thoughts, plus and minus?
You know, a lot of filmmakers are worried about AI, and I'll worry about AI when AI has a family, which isn't going to happen. So the genius of the Angel Guild is that they get to curate a library of stories, and whether filmmakers want to embrace AI or want to just hone their craft, everyone's welcome.
Well, thank you so much, for both of you, for coming and telling your stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.